Dark Lord, Malcolm.
Build me an army worthy of man.
Hey again, and welcome back to the Geek of Jules. But today is going to be a reaction to the Amazon Prime title announcement for the new Lord of the Rings show, which, spoiler, is called The Rings of Power. Now, I thought, like many other people, that this was bad CGI. Like, bad CGI. I was like, I'm going to make a whole video complaining about it. Because it does look really bad. It looks really bad. Although I'm not a CGI expert, I don't do it myself. But I am a jeweller, and when I first saw it, I was, one, shocked that it looked like they were using wood. I'll get to the point because they do actually use wood, but at the time I was like, why are you using wood? Why are they using your wood? That's not going to be that's not going to work. But obviously, you can get hardwood, and I think they use a piece of American redwood, which obviously, if you've seen the behind the scenes, I'm getting ahead of myself, is huge. And they've apparently had to make quite a few of these in different languages. So I'm not sure how much they use, but they obviously use a lot. Hopefully it was resourced well. My main concern is that if they show us this trailer after, it's not even a full trailer, it's just an announcement of the name. And at first I thought it was really bad. The CGI was tacky, it was cheap. And then obviously, because I was going to rant about it a lot, I looked into it, and they actually did use redwood as the mold element. They used actual metal. They used actual molten metal to pour into these grooves, which I read up that they had to change a few times. So they must have had a few of the redwood pieces in the shape of the Rings of Power. So they've obviously done it a lot. They've gone to a point where they have really tried. Yeah, they've really tried, but it still looks like shit, unfortunately. It also leads me to all other aspects of molten gold, or just gold or metal in fantasy novels. Because the main thing that got me is that if they're going to do all of this work, if they're going to do all of this effort, all these recordings in 4K with special cameras that can really capture close-up images that even the eye can't when you're there melt. Maybe you can see it, but it's like gone. They've gone to all this trouble, yet right at the end of the trailer, so you don't see you see the metal going in, and then not obviously, because if you've never done it before, when you melt metal, silver, gold, others, when you pour it into a mold, it will just fill up to where the mold, and if you put too much in, it will overflow onto the rest of the mold that you don't want cast in. You just want the letter R, you just want the R, which means that the groove that goes like this, and so it's grooved like this, it fills up, so when you take it out and turn it round, it'll be pointed, yeah. But they show the pouring in, and then there's a bit of mist, a bit of water, a bit of mist, bit of, and then they've managed to get engraving on them. So it's got engraving on, and it's also so it's not flat, it's gone up, which just wouldn't happen. Like, it just wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't happen. That's not how science, physics, gravity, I don't fucking know. That's not how that doesn't work like that. So they're putting all this effort into making it authentic, even though it looks pretty bad. Even though it's real, it looks really bad. And yet they switch from doing it properly, cool, kudos, down, well done, to then just skipping part of the work that you would have then take the casting out, which are individual, take them out, you'd have to file them, you'd have to shape them, you'd have to engrave them, or acid etch them or something, which I know it's fantasy, but I'm thinking of this from a real point of view. I'm just disappointed. Even with the amount of effort they've put in, it's wrong and it looks rubbish. And I've been watching a few other people on their reviews and what other people have had to say who are passionate about Lord of the Rings as well. I've not seen any I don't go too far into like the whole scholars of Lord of the Rings. I know that there are people out there that study it and make a living from studying it. I wish I knew that was an option, but I've got too much to think about, and if I fill my head with too much Lord of the Rings, I'll just start wearing elf ears and walking around with a sword that's like blue, that glows in the dark blue. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to focus, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to walk through, from a jeweler's perspective, I'm going to walk through the trailer, because it's going to lead to other parts of the video where I'm going to go not fully in depth. I'm going to go into how Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, well actually Lord of the Rings is right, The Hobbit, this new The Rings of Power, it's happened on Wheel of Time recently, on Prime as well. And it's happened in another one as well where gold is used as if you put a bit of heat on, even a breath, that it'll just start melting. Main example, Smaug, the dragon, is like stood in front, I'll show you a clip, is stood in front of the giant golden dwarf statue, and then it just, and then it turns into a river, which Thorin Oakenshield uses a shield, like an iron shield, not an oak shield, because he'd be dead. He'd be dead anyway, but any dragons. He uses a shield to boat down a river of molten gold. And I don't know where the heat is coming from, because gold don't work like that. I feel the need to respond to it. So even if 10 people watch this, fine, cool. I just hope other people can see my point of view, because, again, as a jeweler, as a goldsmith, I just found it quite like, insulting. So yeah, we're going to get into it. Please take in Nala having a nap. She's not normally this calm, so yeah, let's get into it. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch it on my screen, which is here. I'm going to watch The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power title announcement, Prime Video, on Amazon Prime Video, YouTube. I'll link it, because you do have to experience it for yourself. Here we go. Okay, so let's shush. Let's have another look. Let's have another look, shall we? So the intro is really cool, and I do like the fact that they've, at first, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, so we're looking at a landscape, some like misty valleys, and I do like the fact that they've been able to make it look like there's landscape even though it's the forging of rings, even though they're not forging the rings here, they're just forging the title. But I do like the mist and the aesthetics, apart from the fact that it looks fake, even though it's real. That was my first point. I thought it was... I liked it. I liked the mist. I liked the... whoever's vaping behind the scenes, I liked it. Now, with the gold... or the metal, I'm supposing it looks like gold, but at the point of molten gold, sometimes you can... You know what? Jeff Bezos is probably so rich, they probably did use actual gold for this. I won't be surprised. That'd be pretty dope. That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, I do like the fact that they've got the flames coming off, and you really get to see the actual aspects of the melting gold, and of the crusting over, and the sparks coming off, and all the bits that come out and that are coming from the wood, and how it's running through and it's pouring, and then you get to a point with gold or silver or metal where it gets to a rolling gold, and it kind of like has layers going across really, really quickly, and it's like rolling, as if it's rolling. So I really like that they captured that. I really like that. But then they're going to mess up. So then they add the water, which again, thought it was totally CGI. Because, I mean, come on, that looks like... Obviously, yeah, that looks like CGI. And it's cooling the metal down, and everyone can see... You can see that it's flat. And then you can see that it's flat just before, and then it literally splits to another image where the metal is now pointed. So say this is the thing. It goes up. It is pointed. Naturally, it just somehow it just did it. Maybe the water made it go like that. I don't know. That is what getting to me. So they just swap from flat, and it's flat again. It's flat again. Hang on, hold up, go back. It's flat again. See, it's flat. And then it's pointed. And then it's pointed with engraving on it. And the engraving is glowing. How is the engraving glowing? Oh, I can't. And the engraving still looks hot, yet the metal isn't anymore. And then there's a big zoom out. And it's all got engraving on. It's got facets. It's been very clearly finished, where, like a second ago, where you've just poured it in, it's not fucking finished. That's not finished. You're gonna have to take it out. You're gonna have to get a new piece of giant redwood, put the castings back in after you've done all the shaping and the engraving, then add some more vape clouds everywhere, and a sunshine and a nice light, and then you've got the end result. I'm just so conflicted by it. So conflicted. And I know many other people are, because it is conflicting. Even when you don't know, even when you don't make jewellery, or you do casting, or you work with metal, it's clear to everyone that it's frustrating. Then, just as an extra point, what? As an extra point, the even the Amazon tick is blooming. Wait for it. Oops. Even the Amazon logo thing has a point to it as well. It's just disappointing because without Celebrimbor the elf, I'm not going to go into like the history and lore, but Celebrimbor the elf, who makes these rings with the fair version of Sauron before he becomes, you know, before he announces himself as Sauron, they'd know how to make jewelry, obviously, because Celebrimbor's father, grandfather was one of the guys. What was the guy that made the Silmarillions, the gems? So it's all very confusing. It's like they've looked into it, but they've not really looked into it. I don't know. Thank you very much for watching if you did. If you didn't, you didn't. Just scratching the surface of what is the title announcement. There's just so many things. Anyway, I'm going to show some other aspects from that I actually work with, some books, some of the Celtic bone casting pieces, and some cuttlefish castings as well. And as a treat for next time, this is a piece of 100 grams of silver, of all my scrap silver, that I am going to make into Celebrimbor's mithril hammer. Obviously it's not going to be mithril, it's going to be silver, it's going to be 925. At first I was going to smash it out, but I am going to make a casting out of it in cuttlefish, so there's going to be like a link to this video, but yeah, I'm not sure about the trailer. I'm glad it's in September. I hope they take the time with the show and the editing, and I just hope it's not shit. Although they are going to have a lot of, well, I've seen that they have quite a few Welsh actors, which is going to really bring the flute. It's going to sound beautiful. I'm sure it'll look beautiful to a point, but we'll just wait and see. Thank you very much for watching, and if you want to like the video, like it. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. If you want to share it, share it. If you want to comment, give me a comment, because I'll comment on the comment and we'll comment on it, because frustration. But yeah, thank you very much. I'll see you soon. Bye.